Hello everybody and welcome back. It's OBZ1 and we're tackling the big questions. This is philosophy time. Um, we're trying to discover truth in this world, and in the first couple of videos, we really nailed down the foundation of how we determine what is true. You can question that and challenge that if you want. Go back and see them. But after we've established that basis, we now finally get to move on to some free and exciting questions. So as you saw the title of this video, does free will exist? So, the key words in here are really going to be free will and exist. And I'm going to tell you something. It's all upon how you define the word. So, we're going to have to define free will. And as most people understand it, they say that it is a choice. Now, that's pretty interesting, because what exactly is a choice? If you really want to get into the word choice, I have dug really deep into it, and this is a rabbit hole you could go down to, because every time you're like, free will, no, it's a choice, and what is a choice? A choice is a decision, and you can't really narrow it down, but basically, what I understand free will as, if you really strip everything away, it's somehow it's not even really an ability, but it's the ability to choose between A and B without any influence from the outside world. So that means if I want to eat a burger or French fries, I have free will because I can do either of them. It's my choice, and it's not because I really crave French fries and I've always eaten them since I was a kid, or it's not because the burger smells better that I chose it. There are no reasons. It is somehow the will is a randomizer, right? It's not like you chose anything. It's not like you it wouldn't be free will if it was because of something else, because that would be determinism. So if free will is a choice, right, and a choice can't be anything but random, right? I randomly choose between these two. Is random really what people mean when they see free will? And I've thought about this question, because if something happens randomly, it's out of control, right? So randomness isn't really a choice, but people think free will is a choice, and it gets really complicated and messed up. So I am here to clear the air, and I want you guys to challenge me on this, because it's what I believe, but it's hard to explain sometimes. So a lot of people say choice, but this is what I think they actually intuitively understand when they're saying free will. And if we can just clear this up, it will help us understand the truth in a more specific way, which will allow us to see the bigger picture and actually make logical choices moving forward. So from what I see, that is consistent in our world, right? I have not seen randomness to be a consistency. I've seen things I don't understand. And I don't think people mean that things happen randomly when they say free will, because they're implying that there's control to it. They're not implying that it's random. So what I think they actually mean when they say free will is they're implying that there's an action made because of an action made because of an experience. Now let me explain this to you. Okay, how do I explain this? It's like, oh, an action made because of an experience? What do you mean, Obi, right? Like, how is that free will? Well, it's quite simple, right? I have the choice between a burger and French fries. And my experience, burgers have always tasted horrible to me. So I choose the French fries. That was an action made out of my experience. And people would say, oh, you exercised your free will, you exercised your choice, right? But I wasn't exercising a choice really. I was just taking an action based off of my past experiences, which everybody does. Sometimes people take actions based off of their current experiences. Maybe they're in a really lively mood and they feel really great, right? And they don't know what to do and they start dancing and partying. They made that decision to dance and party because they were in such a good mood, which is a current experience. But whatever the case is, it always comes down to the experience you've had, which is an action taken. Now, I'll show you how this is free will. If somebody takes my hand and forces me against the wall, right? That was not my free will because it wasn't an action I took based off of my experiences. It wasn't an action I took based off of my experiences, but it was the other person's will to do that because it was an action they took based off of their experiences. Now, so does free will exist? If free will is a choice, I'm sorry, but it doesn't exist, buddy. Because a choice, at the end of the day, if you really boil it down and keep asking, well, what is a choice? What is a decision? What is something that you choose to do, or what is will? You're always going to come down to some sort of decision that's made uninfluenced by reality when you take away everything else. And if you don't take away everything else, then it's a decision made based off of your experiences. And so the true definition of free will is an action made based off of your experiences, and it can easily be applied to anyone, and it works just like this word free will, but the only thing is free will is a little misconstrued because they say, oh, it's your free choice. So everyone thinks that it has this element of spirituality or mysticlessness. And I know there's a lot of self-help out there, and there's a lot of things out there which people talk about free will, and that is a lot of wisdom. There's a lot of truth to everything they're saying. It's just that you need to understand in your head, every time they say, you need to have the will to do this, they're really saying that you need to have the experience to take these actions. And the experience will, whether that's a thought process or, people that you have around you, or information, just pure information in your head or thinking positively, whatever experience that is, you need to take actions based off of these experiences. And that's really what they're saying when they see me in free will. So this is my taking, guys. If you have an understanding of free will that is different, shoot it out there. If you see flaws in what I'm saying, shoot it out there. Let's talk about this. Let's have this conversation. I have been on the edge of believing free will exists and doesn't exist my whole life. I've jumped back and forth, but I really have to dig my feet in the ground, because if I want to understand, which we're going to be talking about next, morality and what should we do in this world, and ultimately the big question, what's our purpose? What is all of this, right? We need to understand what drives us and how that works, because morality actually plays a part in, free will plays a part in morality, but it's kind of hard to understand. So we need to answer these questions if we're going to dig further into these subjects. So please, guys, take a look at this and challenge me, and we might do a video answering some of these questions and looking at these fallacies and seeing if this is actually the true choice. Remember, guys, free will are your actions that were based on your experiences, not anyone else's. See you next time.